So, who would like to just remind everyone where we left off at the end of the last game?
We killed the matriarch Yeti, and then, as I put in the thing, we kind of stared a very long time into a river. I think Jasper got some stuff and bits and bobs out there. Where's Renette?
Loot, because Romart dangled him over the cliff.
Yep. I got some mushrooms.
Which was, I think there was like a skinning knife, there was some unidentified liquid in a bottle, some gold, which was shared amongst the group for 16 gold pieces each, if everyone wants to mark that on. There was, what else was there?
Bag of uncut gems. And the snares.
Yeah. How much gold was it?
Yeah, there was something about, now, I don't have the full details here, but there was some discussion about some creatures, was it, called sentinels?
Yeah, so Lachlan asked about the sentinels, and the dwarves told us about some sentinels that effectively statues, I imagine. They'll stand along a pass in the mountains to the south-ish area. What was it? 16 gold we got, Rob, did you say?
16 each, yeah. And we are, if my data is right, we're now on session 81.
Or in my terms, session 9 or 8? Yeah, 8. See, look at that. 7 sessions in, I got a level up.
Hey.
That's just how we play. Right? Always level it up.
Yeah, I think we left it having Yeti steaks and having a long rest, and I think we called it about there. With the plan to go after the sentinels in the south. One dwarf's taking us, one dwarf's going back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone got more than
that. You have just, as you say, defeated this tribe of Yetis. Finally finishing off the final one at the cave, in which you then decided to rest up for the night. You did talk with the dwarves before you settled down and arranged for one of the dwarves to take their leave of you, return, collect your animals, and take them back to the town, whilst the other dwarf was going to remain and essentially guide you towards sentinels. That's part of your riddle seems to be indicating. So Dwarf Aldrin is going to be remaining with you just to try and aid you a little bit in navigating this stretch of the mountain. It is a brand new day. You have all managed to sleep through the night. You have had no issues. You wake up, it is very cold. There is a little bit of snow just drifting in through the entrance of the cave. And it's very quiet. What do you want to do, everyone?
Did anyone have a look around the den that session, or did we just purely go after the mother and get it off?
We did. I think we started to investigate some of the surrounding area, just to make sure, more in the sense of making sure that it was safe. The dwarves, if I'm remembering correctly, the dwarves headed up the tunnel, and I think did they leave the cave or did they just go back up the pathway?
They went
But they
out.
returned. Are they still with
Yeah,
us, or are they still out the cave? Like, did they
they
leave and
they
come
did
back?
come
Or
back
did they
in.
just leave?
They came back in and they both slept in the cave alongside you.
Mhm.
One of them is now getting up, get ready to head off to collect your animals, head back to the town, and take back reports as well as the tree.
Okay. Was there anything else in this river that we can see, or is it just pure darkness and just little rivers going through?
There's nothing which you can immediately see. It all looks very dark, as you say. There is no light in this cave other than the light that's filtering the entrance. That is just dim.
Okay.
We did a big search of the river last session. Literally, I think Lachlan sent his seeing guide up and down the river.
Yeah. Yes, I remember.
Yeah. And then we swung Jasper in to go fishing. And yeah, I foraged and got some mushrooms and things as well. So there has been a little bit of a search around here. Yeah.
The mushrooms you picked up as well, they were sort of this golden, almost luminescent mushrooms with silver.
Oh, luminescent. You said small blue white mushrooms last time.
Yeah, I've adjusted it slightly.
Okay, right, so the luminescent, just luminescent, small and blue, small blue white.
Golden luminescent, slightly luminescent mushroom.
Okay.
Silver.
Sorry, they're golden, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
And is it just a couple this time? Or is it still there's still a handful of small golden luminescent mushrooms?
You got a collection of 10 mushrooms.
10. Okay, I know what to put then. Golden luminescent mushroom. 10. Cool. That's updated then.
And we've harvested as much as we can from the Yeti's body as well, haven't we? Like,
I don't think we did.
Horn.
I don't think we did because
the dwarves took a horn. We were talking at least, I think, about like taking a trophy for herself, whether a horn or fang or whatever.
Yeah, I think we were saying about that with Hezekiah and how he's been collecting stuff from what Keck's seen. But I don't think there was any reason to or any knowledge to want anything from it. And also, it's got a very black belly. Yeah, I mean, if dwarves are getting up and getting ready, I think Keck will probably. Morning, friends. I can get some food and drink before we set off, if you'd like. Keep it for the road. And we'll just get a crate food and water on the floor for people to take a chunk. That'll be us for the day.
Yeah, Ren will come alongside Keck and start digging into the food. Having been sort of shining Astrofall and sharpening the blade with a whetstone.
So as you're doing all this, the two dwarves are just having a talk to each other off the side. You watch as Aldrin passes Oberyn the horn he had, and you can see from because they are stood a little way away. He puts his hand on his shoulder, and they seem to sort of bump foreheads as the dwarf turns and heads out. Aldrin then turns back, walks back towards your makeshift campsite. And
I was going to say we'd know that's probably a common dwarven custom or a common camaraderie custom.
You probably wouldn't have seen that yourself. You could get the impression that it would see that.
They sure like bumping their heads, don't they, Ramak?
Yes, I've still got the bruise from my sculling incident.
I'm so sorry, I did miss that, and I must have just turned away for a moment, and you'd all gone.
You missed quite a spectacle. The champion. Ha!
You just hear Jasper sort of sitting there, just coughing a bit. As Romok gloats about being the champion.
Yes, I couldn't have done it without you. Let me have this.
No, it's not yours to have, Romok.
Such sibling rivalry, just no.
Oh, how might Jasper have helped you?
Ah, him and his mystical, magical ways.
So
You could say he was somewhat inspiring.
So you cheated.
I'd hardly say that.
Just a bit of cheering on Mr. Turtle.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, cheering didn't hurt anyone, I suppose.
And let's not forget, the gentleman invited me to fight. He knew what he was getting into.
I'm sure it was an honourable fight. Contest.
Even go as far to say it was fun.
So these sentinels, we know roughly where they are, and our dwarf friend over there is going to show us the way. Any ideas what we might expect? I have a feeling this is probably where Nick needs to be with his knowledge on the cryptic clue.
The dwarf has now made his way over to you all and sort of slumps down. Very sort of heavy as he just drops down and sits next to the lot of you as you're all talking and eating. He goes into his bag, pulls out a big bottle of something, and he just pulls the cork out with his teeth. The big sort of pop, and just starts to drink down some of the fluid that's in there. And you immediately can smell that he's just wiped his mouth. It's the proper way to start Hunter's Moor. Here, and he hands it over towards to you, Brother Keck, as you're sitting next to him.
Oh, thank you, friend. Is this similar to what we had in the tavern the other night? Kind of taking a tentative sniff.
When you're on the mountain, especially when you're outside, you always have to start off with a good.
If you say, and he'll take a swig.
And it's immediately very hot. It's not as bad as the one you had before. It does warm your body, but it's also quite strong.
Oof, I can feel that in the back of my shell. Oof. And just kind of tensely hand it over to Romic.
I'll I'll take it and I'll take a swig myself.
You take it, and much the same. It's strong, not as strong as you did have before, and it does just make you almost tingle. You can feel your.
Mhm.
It's almost like your hairs are standing up on the back of your shoulders.
Whew. Well, it certainly hits a spot. Right, DM above table. What were the dwarves' names again, please?
This dwarf is called Aldrin.
Here's
Aldrin.
The dwarf who just left was Oberon.
Aldrin, if I might ask, you know these sentinels we're going to see. What might we expect when we get there? I mean, from what you were saying last night, it is rather remote from Erdogus, and are there other settlements nearby? Should we be aware of anything about the area?
There's no settlements nearby. It's a secluded place. It's out of the way of everywhere else, and it's not going to be easy to get to. Yeah, it'll be trouble, but I can get you well versed with these mountains, in and on top of.
So if
Stick with me for it, but we're not going to see anyone else in this area. It stretches out towards a lesser travel. So,
do you know who put these sentinels there? Was it your kin, or if it's been in the
it
mountains?
was the dwarf. The dwarves of the Whisper Caps. Long ago, there was during the age of the Deep Wars, dwarves of the Whisper Caps locked in brutal, endless struggle against the ancient enemies of their kind, trolls, frost giants, and the like. All the darker things that claw their way up from the deep earth. The peaks and the passes of the Whisper Caps were once battlefields. Entire dwarven holds rose and fell within generations. So, after a while, all that was left was Herdogus, a few towers. But we had, it was known that this monument was put in place as a reminder, those who fell, those who fought, not to forget where we came from.
So the sentinel is effectively a memorial.
Yes,
Interesting.
a set of large statues. Guardians of our people. Now they keep watch over the passes. They look down the side of it.
It's rather peculiar though, Aldrin. If this is such a significant marking of your people's history, why is it so difficult to get to? Do not many of your kin still pilgrimage to such a site?
We have no need to pilgrimage there. It's well known to us of our history. What's important now is that we maintain our way of life, maintain our prosperity.
But it was erected
Hey.
to immortalize the dead, the people, those you lost. Is it not?
And so it has
worth-
stood for years, generations, centuries.
Can you be sure it still stands now, though, if no one... If no one goes that way, how can you be sure it's still there?
I feel confident of that, but guess we'll have to find out.
I think maybe it should... We shouldn't forget the history in that which happened, and showing respect for your fallen. I mean,
We've not forgotten our history. Carved into the walls, per Dogus, we have many stories. Lots of long pictures.
maybe it's just one of those funny quirks of the dwarves, I suppose.
Something pings in Romok's memory. The clue that we've had before, which I agree. I don't think Keck has had the cryptic clue revealed to him before, has he?
Not in its
in the
entirety,
heart
I kind of...
No.
You
Have
guys-
you had any of it at all?
You guys have told me that, you would have told me everything, but I'm kind of getting past as we go, I think. I don't think I've been sent out by Woody and not been in the notes.
Yeah.
Not to my knowledge.
And have we had this? I can't remember the clue that we've been given. Is it written? And if so, if it's written, who has that? Where is that?
I know Lachlan led a lot last night about the... I think it was read out last night. I can't... not last night, last session, but I can't remember the full extent of it. I remember the Sentinels and...
You would have recited it to the dwarves, which is how they would know to point you in this direction. So you would have at least heard it once from them.
Yeah, I don't think we actually had it written down, did we? It was just something we heard, was it? 'Cause it was in the
It was recited to you in the tower.
yeah, when we were in the library, wasn't it,
Yeah.
Alistair?
But this is the thing. Was it a script somewhere? Is it written, or is it just literally the character's memory of being told this information?
I think we've got it in memory rather than a script, because obviously we weren't allowed to take anything out of the library.
Yeah. But like, it's not written down on a note unless we say someone.
I mean,
wrote it
Locke
down.
probably would have written it down
He
eventually.
has his book. He's got his
Or at the
magic
time.
book, spell book. Does anyone have
Yeah.
a character trait that they journal?
There's a good chance that Locke would have written it down. I think.
Mhm.
I mean, I've got my own journal that I've put stuff in, and I've done drawings in it before of places we've been and things we've seen and whatnot. So I probably have it written down there, but yeah. Generally, it's something we were speaking about more than anything else.
Any chance you could quickly post it to me or something, would you? Or recite it again so I can... Or is it one of those things you don't want to have worded again because it's up to these guys to have remembered it?
Just scroll up a little bit. It's right there. It's only a couple of notes up.
Oh, we did
Yeah.
get us silent. My bad.
Oh.
The heart.
Cool.
Just speak.
That's it too.
Yeah, it's one of the last.
Peaks. Cool. Yeah. Carry on. I'll just make some quick notes from it. So I've got it. Thank you.
So the dwarf waits for his bottle to be returned back to him, takes another swig out of it. Yeah. Well, that's a sample of mine. Do you have any drinks from your homelands? Anything on you? Worth a try.
I actually think I have. The only
I
drinks I
have-
have are potion of a couple of potions. I don't think quite fit the bill.
I've got 2 bottles of unknown alcohol that I've been carrying since pretty early on.
I do actually have on my person brewer's supplies, which regrettably have not come into play so far.
So I'll pull out one of my mystery bottles. I'm like, not sure what's in here. I haven't quite found the need to open it just yet. You're welcome
Dwarf
to try
turns to
some.
you and
Good God, you're about to kill him.
goes, "A sneaky one. I had a feeling you might have a few tricks up your sleeve. What have you got there?" And he leans over and he takes the bottle, he holds it up, and looks at it through the glass and uncorks, smells it, and just downs it. It looks like he tries about half of the bottle before passing it back to you. Little sweet, fruity, doesn't really do much. Can see the ales and wines outside of the mountains are still lacking. It's a shame.
Nothing
One of these
quite like
days,
that
I'll have to try
special.
something a bit more interesting.
It's nothing quite like that special vintage we had the other night. That was refreshing, shall we say. Not for these ones, they couldn't quite handle it. I point to Romok and Locke, especially Locke.
Well, after you've tried it once, surprised how it sticks to you. You'll be wanting more for it. Who knows? You might return to these mountains to come and mine with us, just to keep within arm's reach of the sweet nectar we produce.
There are many a thing I crave, and this could possibly be one of them, but I'm known for restraining myself.
Fair enough. Any other
In the
interesting
same
drink?
way that Jasper coughed Romok, naming himself champion before, Romok gives a mild cough about Jasper showing restraint to do anything.
Jasper pointedly ignores Romok.
Romok just chuckles to himself.
Well, with nothing else to drink, the mountain will not wait for us. She will move on. And depending how she's feeling, we may be in for a good day or a bad day.
I'm assuming there's very little natural light in this cave.
Yeah, very little.
But I'm assuming it is time to leave and face the daylight itself.
Woody?
Mhm.
Just reading the riddle. Is this inspired by a certain Harry Potter franchise by any chance?
No.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, the Whomping Willow calms down when the full moon hits it and caresses it, letting them into the underground passage.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not aware of that. Sorry.
What's the moonlight? Was it? No, it might have been something else. But just remember that scene with like the moon kind of comes out and the Whomping Willow dies down and lets them. They kind of get in. That's what I was reminded by that.
I can guarantee it is not connected to that. No. So the dwarf stands up, puts his pack on, and just ensures that his boots are firmly on. Turns to you, well, whenever you're ready.
Keck will get up with a very
I would say there's no time like the present.
kind of like a Clucky Mum's like, just pack as much as you need. It only lasts the day. Don't let it spoil. Might as well use it. Car's gift upon us.
And as you all collect yourselves, the dwarf nods and makes his way out to the entrance. You all collected everything you had before, packed up, and follow him out. And you're greeted by just the sun, the brightness of the sky outside, just burning your eyes for a moment. You have to blink back to try and acclimatize yourself just to the brightness. Seems like the cave was maybe a little darker than you're expecting. Contrast is quite jarring. But looking around, it's a decent day. There's a few clouds in the sky, but it's early on, and you can see a blue sky at the moment. The dwarf turns. So we need to be heading southeast. So going to be a little way to go. So stick with me, and we'll get. And he heads off, and he's going a pretty decent pace. And you start to move through areas. There's immediately just a sort of thicket of trees, all snow-covered trees, and it's quite dense. So immediately you're just pushing through branches, and you're getting a lot of snow dropping on you as you're moving through. And you're also noticing that you're stepping into quite deep snow at places. So it's almost like at some point you start to have to wait. But after a little while, it clears out a little bit. The trees start to spread out and become a little bit more scarce, and you move into more of an open area. A lot more rocks now starting to be visible, rocky overhangs and just rocks jutting out of the ground, all obviously snow covered. The dwarf just comes to a stop, just catches his breath for a moment, looking around and just assessing his. How's everyone doing?
Doing okay, I think.
Oh, it's not really going to get too much better from here on, so let's keep going. And he plods on and just goes straight forwards into this area, which is just a lot more barren now. You are clearly on the side of this mountain. You are quite a steep sideways incline, and you're sort of pacing your way along the side of it. Now, to your right, you can see it drops off quite significantly. It's a slope all the way down. You can see there's rocks, trees, mists down below you. Looking up, obviously, you can see the peaks of mountains. You can see little drifts of snow just blowing off the edges of the cliff sides. And every now and again, you see the odd bird just flying across. It's pretty, but it's also, you're aware of how high up you are. After about a couple of hours trekking along the side of this mountain,
it gets to a point where it gets very sheer and icy. Right. We're going to need to hold on a bit here, dig in a bit. Do you have anything to help secure yourself to an icy surface, should you need to? And you watch as he pulls a small ice axe out of his belt. It's a very small little hand axe, essentially, pointed back pickaxe. And he got some pulls another one, so he's got 2. We may need to dig in a little tighter here to the side. It gets very steep and very slippery, but it's only for a little.
Keck will.
You can see it is completely sort of dropped off here. It looks like this is probably the only way you could possibly go at this point. You are now really confined on this small, thin path which is working its way through the side of the mountain now. You've got broken rock running up the side and just a very large drop off to the side. And you can see it as he's pulling these axes out, and you start to walk around and you get a slightly better view ahead of you. You can see there's where the path would continue, it's kind of broken away, and there's a very small sort of ledge, a little ridge that's running across, just broken through the stone itself. But obviously, with the temperature here and the weather here, it looks icy, it looks hazardous. But it looks like it's going to finish its very perilous section after about 100 foot. And then it looks like the path connects back up again. So what have you got on you? You got anything that can just help you get across this bit here, lads?
Is it?
Looking his pack, Jasmine will see he's got his daggers, or he's got. I've still got some of the stakes from the dark wood that we used for the vampires. So I can use either of those.
Right. I have a shovel to dig our way through, should we need it. And I still have a roll of rope in my pack.
Keck's gonna secure everything to his back and kind of just point out his nice little claws he's got that should help to give some kind of grip. But just checking when. I was reading so quickly. That's fine. Can't do anything that would help us too much anyway.
So basically, we're going to get to a bit now where to cross this, we are going to do a couple of checks. So
there's a guidance on
Keck
already.
If you have anything that's going to help you in the advancing the next section, now would be the consider it.
Where's all there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of us. Can't get blessed on everyone. Extra persons, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'd have to do a 5th level spell slot to get everyone. I've only got one of those.
Just do most of them. I can get myself across with Bardic.
I mean, everyone else is planning, I can obviously bless anyone who's left. Obviously, we haven't got.
I can bless anyone who needs the leftover.
Oh, so we can just do a level 1 bless each then, and
Yeah.
3.
3 and 3. And I think there's probably something within Romok that is bolstered by Kek's faith that almost sparks just a little something, a little bit of familiarity within Romok.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm guessing is your bless the same? It's a D4.
Yeah, D4 for any attack roll or saving throw. Whereas
Correct.
guidance only covers ability checks, isn't it?
Mhm.
So bless will last. I mean, it only lasts up to a minute.
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you're going to give us any time bearings, Woody, how long it's going to take us to get across this?
You've got 100 foot stretch to scale across. You're going to be going probably quite slowly, I would imagine. So you're not going to make it, but it will help for the start of it.
Okay. It's 100 foot, and we're going slowly. I mean, I don't know in terms of time and how precise it's going to be. Is that going to be like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes? 2?
How long will it take? It's going to be a couple minutes really, and it's going to be 2 or 3, I'd say. Just of careful moving through.
I mean, do we want to burn all our first level slots this early? See how it goes. See how the first one goes, and yeah, and I think Kek would be probably willing to put another bless out if things don't go too well the first time round.
Yeah, likewise. I think Romok will be the same. He'll be reading the situation, seeing if it's needed. Then I'll throw another one onto the group just to protect them a little bit more. And yeah, that's a good point. If I'm in the middle of people, then people are protected by my aura as well and get an additional +3 on saving throws.
Woohoo.
Should it come to that. And I can hit, I think, is it 4 people with that?
A 10-foot range, like 10-foot either side of you, radius.
Yeah.
If we're having to move in a straight line, you can get 4
Well, you
people.
can't
If we
you
can
get
bunch up a
4
bit, we can get everyone.
creatures within a 10-foot range.
Yeah, so if we have to go one by one, like in a line, then you'll get 4. But if we can bunch up together, then we'll all get the benefit. But by the sounds of it, it's going to be in a line, one by one.
Mhm.
The dwarf turns to you and says, "Well, if you watch how I go, follow my steps, we should make it across. Just don't do anything foolish."
Gets halfway across and falls to his death. Is that the right way?
And he grabs the 2 axes again and sort of prepares himself, holds his arms up for a second. The big exhale and plods forward towards the edge of this path where it just breaks away. And you watch as he starts to edge his way across It looks like there's enough room for him to get his feet on just on this little ledge. And he's edging, and you watch as he's every now and again he's just thudding his axe into the side of the bedding into the rock. He's just shooting. He looks back at you all, gives a nod. Yeah, just like this. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. He just continues to slide and shimmy across, hitting these axes into the wall and just pulling himself forward. And after a few minutes, you watch as he gets to the other side and he jumps just across to the path once again. He puts his axes back on his belt, hands on hips, and he gestures over to you all. Now your turn. It wasn't that hard after all. Who would like to go first?
I'm going to assume Hezekiah is just going to like wild shape into something flying and just shoot across, so he doesn't have to do checks.
Hezekiah, are you there?
Yes. I'd like to, only wild shape if I need it, right? I'll go first.
More of your falling to your death, you'll transform.
Yes.
So, yeah, best you go first, and if
So-
you transfer to it big enough, you can just carry us across afterwards, can't you? Not waste it.
I can't transform into anything big enough to carry all of them. Do you want me to do a dexterity check or save?
So, if you want to just start shimmying across, have you got anything to help you at all?
I could give myself guidance, but aside from that, no.
You've already got bless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on it.
Nothing in the way of
Both.
pickles or anything to help your grip.
Okay, so what do you want from me, check-wise?
Okay. Well, if you want to start moving across, you can do a dexterity, just a save.
And you get +3 if you're close to Romok.
So 15 plus 3,
Yeah.
plus the D4.
Okay, that's perfect. So you watch as Hezekiah gets halfway across, and he's looking really nice. He's managing to keep his balance. He's managed to hold on. Just do one last one.
17.
You manage to, having just watched the dwarf go through, you're even starting to find some of these little the areas where his axe was digging in, using those as finger holds almost to try and help position and pull yourself across. And you get yourself across just without any issues. Actually, really, you it's kind of effortless almost for you. You jump across as the dwarf sort of has his arms out, trying to help guide you in and pull you into safety. Just good job. I was worried about you larger lads getting across, but you've made that look easy. And he gives you a good hearty slap on the back.
Ah, well, such are the benefits of faith. Come on, the rest of you.
Jasper will step up next, because he wants to get to the other side and then watch Romok attempt it from the safety over there. I will put out the. Let's go for the Darkwood stakes that I've got. They're
Okay.
very sturdy. So
They're very strong, very sturdy, but they are quite long. But they are sharp.
I had mine made. Yeah, I had mine made very like hand size for me, so I can use them.
You had a smaller one made. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay, so you make your way across, and you start to edge across using these stakes to sort of dig in. And as you know, this is Darkwood. It's like steel. As you go, so because you're using these to help you, do your dex save with advantage.
$17.
So much the same as Aldrin and Hezekiah, you're managing to make your way across and making pretty short work of it. It's looking like this is no big deal at all. You're halfway across, and just to get over to the other side, if you can just roll once again with advantage. Hmm.
16. Some low rolls.
With ease, you're almost dancing across the edge of this ledge. Because obviously your feet are a lot smaller than everyone else's. You have a little bit more room, it feels like, than the others were lucky enough to have. And the end, you jump across to the path to meet Hezekiah and Aldrin. Aldrin gives you a thump on the chest. Good job, lad, good job.
Never any doubts. Now let's watch these next few because I think it might be entertaining.
Aldrin shouts across to you, the next one up. Come on. It's easy enough. We can see we can do it. Just have faith in yourself. Come across. Come on.
Oh, I'll go next.
What are you using to help yourself, if anything?
No, nothing. I don't think because I'm cat. I probably can think I can probably do it with just my feline prowess.
Okay.
Claws.
Yeah, you've got claws as well.
Yeah.
Okay, roll yourself a dex save.
Oof.
You
Oh, shit.
immediately start off. You start to edge your way out.
You've got bless. Don't forget as well.
Okay, what's bless? D4.
Yeah.
Cool.
It might just save you.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to save him.
No.
You watch
Did
this
you
twin.
take the +3 from Ramoxora? Well, even then, it's not a big difference.
So that'll be 11 then.
Depends if he's moved 10 foot past you by the time he's
Yeah.
rolled this or not.
Yeah.
So you make it a few feet out, and you immediately are struggling to see where there's like a little handhold, the little marks left over from Jasper and Aldrin's tools. Struggling to see, and you just feel your claws scratching along the stone and the ice. And then your foot gives way slightly as a part of the ledge crumbles. You feel yourself drop ever so slightly. Your foot drops off the side. Is there anything you want to do to try and save yourself here?
Can I? So I've still got one of the javelins. Can I try and jam that into the wall or something to hold on to? Because I haven't got any axes or anything like a ice pick. So see if I can just jab this javelin into the wall or into the ice.
As you feel yourself starting to fall, and you can all see Twin lose his footing, he reaches round, grabs a javelin, and he thrusts it out into the wall. Roll me an athletics check. Let's get more than a 10. There we go. Okay.
So Twin, you will watch, starts to slip and fall off the side of this ledge. And just as he's doing that, he pulls the javelin quickly from his back and rams it into a small little crevice in the side of the rock, just in time to catch himself. You watch as he's suspended from just hanging, holding on to this javelin.
I forgot on when I leveled up, I could have re-rolled that failed saving throw. But hey, it's happened. I've managed to save myself.
So remember for the next one.
Yep, I will do.
You collect yourself for a moment, take a deep breath, and you move back, position yourself back on the ledge, and you start to make your way again. You get about halfway without any more issues. Roll once again the dex save. You're now 50 foot out in the middle of this wall. Okay. Having that scare, you're really focusing in on yourself now, and you're just really making sure you know where you're putting your feet in that. And you manage to skillfully just navigate your way across without any more issues. Thankfully, you jump to the side, back to the full path once again, and you just feel it in yourself. You just that relief washing.
Yep.
Whether you, oh, it's up to you. And as you get there, you're greeted as well. Grabs your hand to help pull you across. He grabs you on the elbow to help pull you in. He doesn't say anything, but he gives you a firm, reassuring sort of squeeze and a tap on the arm. And he looks
Okay.
forward to the other side.
Just in time to dice with death, Mick.
Hello.
Good evening.
What's happening?
We're trying to cross a 100-foot chasm at the moment, made of ice. I was literally just thinking if you hadn't showed up, whether your shape water might come in handy for this.
Well, I can keep things frozen.
Hmm.
It's a very narrow ledge that we've got to go
Just-
across. It's icy or something.
Very.
Yeah, just so you know, it's basically you've come to an area where it's hard to pass through. There's essentially a sheer drop to your side, high running rocks all up the sides of your left, and there's this ledge running along the side of it, which was once somewhat kind of a path, or at least a passable area, but it is all broken away, leaving just a small ledge for you to traverse along. That's about 100 foot long. A number of you have already got across, including Aldrin the dwarf, Hezekiah, Jasper, now Twin, and
Oh dear.
yeah, Twin almost fell just then. He managed to save himself in the last moment.
She was saying I should have waited until I was across and then rejoin.
So, who's next?
Romok.
Yeah, Romok will go next.
Okay. Just
Um,
roll.
Seeing Twin dig his javelin into the wall, I'll grab one of the javelins from my pack, and very much like the pole up to the sculling platform, I'll just look to sort of vault across. Well,
100 foot.
not quite pole vault across. It's a 100-foot drop, but in the sense of like I'll have it ready to kind of dig in, and either propel myself off and sort of dig in the other side.
The javelins are about sort of 5 foot long.
Yeah.
So you know. Okay.
So what I
that's-
mean is I'll have it kind of in my hand, ready to sort of, if I need to, just place it and hopefully.
similar to Twin. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So if you've got that as a tool to aid you, are you using that as kind of? Are you going to use that the whole way through, or is that just like an emergency?
No,
thing?
it's more to sort of like I'll take a running jump, and then use the javelin, hopefully, to kind of dig in on the other side as a kind of anchor to levy myself across.
Okay. So what you want to run and jump from this side?
100 feet.
Are we
I
on a
mean-
map, by the way? Because I'm not on it.
There's no map on this.
Oh, okay.
I mean, as much as running is sensible on ice, I mean, I'll just try and propel myself across as best I can without doing a daft slip.
Okay, there's not really anywhere for you to sort of run at. Like if you were to
No.
run and jump, you'd be jumping at a very small, thin
Yeah.
little ledge which is on the side of this cliff face.
Mhm.
And obviously that's then stretching out, broken up for the next 100 foot.
Yeah.
So I
No,
mean,
I'm
you can run.
not trying to make it complicated. I just mean like I'll have the javelin prepared if I come to it. If I can't,
Okay.
quite make the distance or whatever. But no, I'm
Okay.
not trying to complicate it by being like, oh, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna do a kind of big flourish or a big run up. I'm just it's just there should I need it.
So from up you pay yourself and you launch yourself forward at this cliff side. Roll me a dexterity check.
Check or
Let's
save.
save. With
Oh, Matty, you prick! He literally messaged me, just like, don't roll in that one.
I was like, I can't save you of my bountiful luck 'cause you're too far away. Don't do it.
You son of a bitch! You called that. You spoke that into being.
roll your athletics check for me as well.
Uh, athletics check.
Because
There you go.
you've just run and jump, essentially try to run and jump at this ledge, and what you did was you managed to jump just fine, but you collided with the wall, didn't find footing at all on the ledge, and immediately started to fall. With your athletics, however, you managed to just in time, as you watched Twin do, thrust this javelin through, and you managed to find a little crack in the rock, just as he had. The javelin sinks in, and you're holding on, but you're holding on, hanging by one hand on your javelin, your feet dangling down over this expanse below you.
I think using the strength that I have, like, honed and practiced and toned, I'll just, as deftly as I can, just pull myself up and just grab on for any kind of, I'll just try and dig my fingers into the snow, into the ice, and just try and claw my way up onto the ledge.
Okay. You've got very good athletics. You're able to reach up and grab both hands on the javelin. You can feel it just bending under your weight, and you can watch as the tip in the rock it just sort of seems to be scraping and scratching against the stone. You see little bits just starting to tumble out. Pull yourself up, and you manage to secure yourself back against the wall, much the same as the other's hand. And you just feel like your face is flat against the rock in front of you, your hands up, like you're surrendering almost, as you start to edge your way across. Roll me a dexterity save. With disadvantage.
So with disadvantage.
Huh.
That was a good one. The second one was good. The first one was a 12 plus a D4 for bless.
You make your way across.
Total of 14.
You make your way across. Fine. Nerve-wracking. You can feel your hand trembling. Sure if maybe it's just the ice. Who knows? But you get yourself across to the other side, and with a sigh of relief, you put yourself across. As you do, you're sort of slipping on the ledge as you're eagerly trying to get across, knowing how close you were to falling. And as soon as you're close enough, you can feel the strong hands of Aldrin grabbing onto you, grabbing onto any part of your armor and your clothes you can to try and pull you and get you out of the area.
Cool. I just kind of claw my way. I just sort of reach out and just try and grab as much of him as I can. Just pull myself up.
And he's actually remarkably strong. You can feel, even though he's a lot smaller than you, he's matching your strength. He just quietly says to you, "Don't worry about it. You're safe. You're across."
What's that you?
I think I just lay in the ice and just try and gather my breath.
As you lay there, Aldrin puts his flask of drink on your chest and nods at you, gesturing to you to drink up.
Yeah, I happily oblige. I just uncork, uncap, and just start drinking.
The next stop, who we got?
Lachlan, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I've fully assessed the situation and completely understand what's going on. I will go across and I don't know. Maybe I will. Do I need anything to help? How
Do
slippy is
you
it?
have anything that will help you?
I got my little snowshoes.
May not be a good idea to wear them at this point, as they might prove to be a bit more of a hindrance than anything else, unless they are sharp pointed ones.
Yeah, that's
Or
what snowshoes are, right?
there's some which are.
Oh, like the flat ones, yeah.
I'm trying to remember what they were when
I
I
don't
told
know.
them to you.
I think they're just warm boots, to be honest.
I think they had little spike bottom parts to them. So yeah, I think they'd be good. But do you have anything sort of help handholds? Or anything?
Not really.
Okay.
Actually, I've got a javelin. I will copy the javelin route, I guess.
Okay. You look ahead and you can see a couple of javelins which are in the wall already. As you're preparing yours, you watch as like a bit of wind just whistles through past this part of the mountain, and one of the javelins just comes loose and just falls down, clattering into the
Reassuring.
expanse. Okay, so your turn. You make your way to the edge and start to position yourself to move and edge your way across this ledge. Roll, please, a dexterity. Dexterity save. Are you using the javelin as a tool to help you, or is this an emergency situation as well?
I think I'll just kind of use it just to almost like tap to see where it's loose, sort of thing, and then in an emergency use it.
Okay. Roll a dexterity save. So you gingerly make your way across, get yourself past the first javelin, and you're just tapping away, just trying to find these little nooks and crannies that you can get your fingers in to try and help safely pull yourself across. You get first 50 foot sorted, and you look forward. You can see the rest of your party's now waiting for you. You look back and you can see Brother Keck waiting by themselves. Roll once again your dexterity save.
Ooh, no good.
Okay. So you've done the first part, and you're feeling maybe this wasn't as hard as everyone was making out to be, except for Ron. Silly Ron, what was he doing? And as you're thinking that, step forward to where you think there is a ledge. There's no ledge, and your foot just sinks down. And you feel your body following. As you were using the javelin and you were following that guide of trying to save yourself with the javelin, roll yourself an athletics check. Try and save yourself as you start to fall.
Athletics, yeah. Oh, 16.
Normally, you are not the most athletic, but this is a moment of terror. This is a moment of desperation. You feel muscles that you didn't know you had, muscles you've forgotten you had, suddenly surging around as you instinctively jab this javelin down into it, so you can feel it just embed and dig in just in time to catch yourself. That was close. Just feel the emptiness beneath your feet. And you look and you can see the javelin's only just in the rock. You pull yourself back up and very gingerly continue for the last bit, the last stretch, and get yourself across.
Oof. That was close.
Get yourself back on the path next to everyone else and sit down next to Ronald, who's still looking paler than normal.
I very sheepishly, just probably eyes closed at this point, just letting the liquid just burn through my throat. Just hold up what's left and just pass it over to Locke. A kind of silent, drink this.
Yeah, I'll do a little big sigh and then a swig.
Brother Keck, you're the last member not passed.
Yeah, and probably the worst one. Would we say in my kind of assortment of things for my spells, would I be carrying any soft clay? Would that be okay?
You could have some clay, yeah?
Excellent. So, kind of seeing the last three failing, Keck with knees knocking at this point and very much got his head halfway receding back into his shell, kind of says a little prayer, puts his hand onto the cliff face to his side just for the ledge, and will cast Stone Shape. And from that we'll fashion something similar to that of an ice pick or some kind of implement to kind of help him across, probably an ice pick.
Okay.
And use that to kind of swing into the side and anchor himself as he goes across.
So you watch as Brother Keck pulls out this sludge stuff into his hand and molding it for a moment. You watch his hands moving between each other before holding out. Make your way to the ledge and you start to make your way across. So roll me a dex save with advantage.
Oh, guidance. Well, I've got the blessing, but it's a D4 either way.
Okay. You watch everyone as he tentatively starts to edge his way out. He's just tapping at the rock. And just gingerly starting to make his way across. You watch as it looks like his feet are just slipping and sliding on the ledge a little bit as he's making his way. His first 5 foot, makes his way past the javelins, goes another 10 foot, he's still slipping and sliding. You watch as his scarf is starting to flap in the wind as the wind is picking up, and he just stays still for a moment. He's just holding there, almost scared stiff, frozen in place. And a couple minutes pass and he doesn't move. And eventually, you watch him start to move. He continues and continues. He gets halfway. Just
That was it.
roll once more. Deck save with advantage.
It's a natural 20.
At the halfway point, start to feel a calmness in yourself. So the moment where you had just staying still, you were pressed up against the side. You could feel the mountain almost breathing with you. The wind whipped around you. You didn't fall. Something being close to nature like this, a way that you haven't been before, really. Something about it stirs inside you and you feel a surge of renewed vigor and determination. And you steel yourself. You look to the side, and you make your way across. And it's almost as if you were never scared in the first place. You make it without any issue for the remainder. Aldrin's there to grab onto your shell and pull you up to safety. Had me worried there for a second, boy.
You're not the only one on that kit. But Car's blessing kept me on there.
Mountain Trek's not always for everyone, but by the anvil, we all made it. I knew we wouldn't. I knew we'd manage it. Eventually. Right. Let's continue, shall we? And he starts to walk on. As he does, he goes and grabs his bottle back from Locke as he passes without stopping. Stows it. So the walk continues on now. Further along the mountain, it looks like you're just continuing to weave this makeshift path around the edge. You still have this steep drop off to the side, but then it starts to even out a little bit. It's not quite as perilous at this stage. Eventually, you come to a small clearing that seems to open up. Just ahead of you is like a rocky outcropping which sort of leans out over the edge of the mountainside. So it's like a jutting out piece of rock, a very thick, large piece of rock. With all of that of the valleys, the snowy mountains, valleys, the fogs, the mists, the peaks. It's all in front of you now. And on the tip, this sort of jutting out rock, you can see the dwarf comes to a stop. We're here.
We're
Ahead of you,
here.
the sentinels. And he gestures forward with his hand at these formations up ahead. And what you see is a series of 5 looks like statues carved in stone and some kind of metal. As you get closer, you realize these are actually quite large statues. They're very big. They seem to be of dwarves. There's incredibly fine skill had been put into these carvings. You could tell, even though it was a long time ago, it seems to have remained for the best part. There is a lot of wear and tear. There's a lot of aging, and a little corrosion. But they look, although they're snow covered and ice covered, they look quite impressive. All of them except for one. One of them seems to be cracked, has a slice down through it. You see some breaking bits to the stuff.
Just unrelated, Woody. So that stone shape doesn't have an expiration time on it or anything. So
Mhm.
effectively, I've got this stone ice pick in my backpack now.
You can add that to your inventory for now.
Yeah, I just want to check in case you wanted to add kind of any kind of conditions to it, or just be aware that it's kind of.
I feel like it would. I feel like it would run out. It seems strange that it lasts forever. You just keep making stuff.
You shape the stone into what you want, and it's like that.
What level spell is it?
4th.
It's not a cantrip. Oh, it's a 4th level. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Yeah, you keep that. If it was like a cantrip, I'd say it just.
Yeah, I think that's just mold earth, isn't it? That one.
That's yours. You've got a new tool. So ahead of you, you can see this sort of semicircle of these sentinel dwarves. They look like they are dressed in war outfitting. So they look. You can see. It looks like there's one has got double axes. Looks like they are crossed over in their chest, so arms crossed, an axe held in both hands, and head tilted forward, looking down slightly. The next two, they seem to be bearing shields. You look at that, you can see their hands up, positioning a shield in front of them, and the other hand supporting the shield. They both are facing inwards. The next one is a dwarf sword. It's courageously stanced and pointing the sword forward, and his other arm raised up as if they are fighting some creature. And another axe bearer as well on the other, as this crossed hands holding two axes down.
You say one was damaged as well at the start?
Yes. One of the axe bearers looks like they have just been cleaved, essentially.
So it's literally in half, like half's on the floor, half's stood there.
It's sort of from the clavicle down to out of the side, of the same side. So it's like one of the arms is kind of sheared off a little bit. So, what you can tell, give me a perception check.
Everyone.
Anyone who wants to investigate statue.
I mean, you said they're around in a circle as well, right?
They're like a
semicircle. Okay, cool.
As you look at it, it looks like it's a fresh cut. It looks like it's not aged like the rest of the statue, so the cut looks like someone has damaged it.
As is the 5th statue.
Yeah, so you have an axe on both ends, and then you have 2 shields, and then there's a sword.
This is a stretch, but does the damage on this one? Does it like I can't remember with the berry bandits? They were like absolutely eviscerated, right?
Hmm.
Is this like a slashing weapon or a more of a bludgeoning weapon? Or
With your knowledge of stone and stoneworking,
oh yeah, I got advantage on that.
all things stone, you look at this and you know that this was some kind of blade. It was a slashing type motion, powerful attack. It definitely wasn't like a hammer or anything like that.
Yeah, you're saying it was fresh as well, right?
Yeah, it's not aged and weathered like the rest of the statue.
Guys, it's got to be from them.
Them, Lock?
Yeah,
You mean the
the
ones
two we're
with...
following? Yeah.
I see.
Look at the slashing. Do you know anyone else who could with such force? No.
With Lock Stone Cunning, is he able to assess and identify how recent this happened?
Yeah, roll me a. What would it be? His check. Nature check. Yeah, give me a. What does your stone masonry come under in a positive stat view? Nature.
It's history. There's intelligence history related to stonework.
You can roll that. Roll history.
So apparently I can double my bonus, which is +8. So this is plus another 8.
Looking at it, you can tell that this has been sliced within the last week.
Yeah, if you see how it kind of hasn't cracked or aged at all, you can see it's a very fresh wound. We're, maybe a week ahead at most.
Kex kind of just like stood.
That means we're closing the gap.
Potentially.
Is that right? How far ahead of us have they been? Because at one point they were only a few days. Then I feel like they were longer than a week ahead of us. I mean,
we did take
are we
while.
gaining on them or not at this point?
I feel like when did we scry on them? Before we entered the town, the city, right? So we spent like 2 nights there, and they were at the bridge. So yeah, maybe 5 days ahead or something.
It's hard for you to gauge really how far ahead they may be. You know when you last saw them.
Yeah. I can try to scry on them again, but
yeah, that's fine. I'm just looking for flavour. whether it was obvious that we had made up ground on them or not. But if that's not possible to discern, that's not a problem.
It would be hard for you to discern that
Yep.
exact how far ahead they are. You remember when you skied on them most recently? You did see them at the bridge.
Yeah. I feel like that was at least 3-4 days ago, though. And we just slept another night, didn't we? So, yeah. A good while.
Lachlan,
Yeah.
that riddle you told us last night,
Yeah.
I believe it mentioned gestures of war?
Yeah. What about it?
Keck just kind of like moving his gaze towards the big guy with the sword pointing in a direction. Do you think that could be it?
Yeah. I mean, so looking around, there's obviously, in terms of like the geography of where these are placed, is there like a wall behind them of ice, or is it like just?
No, they are kind of in a semicircle. Sorry, I should explain. The semicircle is sort of facing. It curves in towards the mountain, so it's opening out towards the valley ahead of you. All the figures are sort of looking out towards the valley, but all looking towards themselves as well in this semicircle.
Yeah. Because doesn't the riddle say, follow the gesture of war for a day until you find the icy wall?
Yeah, follow the gestures of war for a day. Journey will bring you to the wall.
So my thinking is we need to go that
Or maybe
way?
the one that was destroyed was the one that showed us the way, and they didn't want us to follow.
I think that's a reasonable deduction.
Perhaps. Did they know they were being followed?
Just looking at this, I mean, the one with the sword, the fourth one, is pointing in a specific direction, is it? I mean,
Wasn't the
I'm
one with the
looking back at
sword
notes.
in the middle, and then like everything else is reflecting mirrored outwards?
I think so, yeah.
So you've
So
got the
one,
sword in the middle, two shield
Yeah.
maidens, and two cross axes on the outside, and one of the cross axes is the one that's lost his arm.
That's correct.
And yeah, he's got his sword raised and he's pointing out.
Yeah.
As if like leading the charge. From my understanding.
There's two pairs. There's two pairs there. So you have the pair of the shields, the pair on the axes, and then the swordsmen by themselves. Now, everyone who's in a pair looks identical.
Is the arm
Obviously,
still on the floor?
Swordsman is anyone who hasn't got a pair. He is pointing outwards towards the valley ahead of you.
But does the axeman have the arm cut off? Is the arm still on the floor?
It is, yeah. I mean, all you've got is like the tip of the axe, essentially, and a bit of his sort of shoulder and upper arm, which has been sliced off.
I mean, by the looks of things, Lachlan, he should just look like that one over there.
Maybe I can rebuild it.
$1 million sentinel. Sorry, $1 million man, $1 million sentinel. We can rebuild
Oh.
him.
I mean, I could, remake his arm and try and shape it to look like the other one. Maybe there's a piece of the puzzle missing and it might help us.
Aldrin, you've been here before, I believe.
I've been around the mountain. I've seen this area before in passing.
So I suppose you didn't notice any difference between the sentinels in passing.
I don't remember there being a difference. No. I didn't pay too much attention. Knew of their existence, of their story, but I never stuck around to reflect on them more than that.
I mean, if Lachlan's going to try and rebuild the arm, Keck will go over to the swordsman, just kind of have a look around that statue. Just kind of like see which way it is pointing and get a general bearing if he can, or notice anything around the statue.
Which one are you looking at, sorry?
The swordsman.
You look and you can see it is pointing downwards, and it looks like it is down towards a. It's a little misty, but it looks like an area of sort of frozen water down there. But it's a good way away, and it's definitely, as you gauge how much you've travelled so far, it's a day's walk to get there.
Well, I mean, the thing says a day, right? So that's
Yeah, and
good.
it's a wall of ice. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a vertical wall. It could be a frozen lake. That is the wall of ice stopping us getting down into it.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, you're right. It could be that they have hidden something by taking that arm off. If you want to explore,
Yeah,
it's not going to prevent
will
us too long, is it?
try and, with like my water, and by freezing it, try and resculpt, copying the other one to try and get it to match as close as I can.
Okay, so you spend a little bit of time just manipulating the water, creating the ice, and just sculpting this shape just to mimic the other side. Take a step back, and you feel good about what you've done. It looks identical, although obviously it's made. You take a moment to assess it, and you can't see anything that jumps out at you immediately.
Hmm.
What do you think, Lachlan? Of
I got no clue, I'll be honest.
I mean, while you've been doing it, I've been taking a look over here, and if you look down there where the light's kind of shining off what looks like it could be a frozen lake. It's
Yeah,
a bit of
who
a
mentioned about the lake before?
I know your riddle says a frozen wall, but
Oh, it's a wall just turned sideways, right? That's all a lake is.
And I mean, it feels like it could be about a day, which I think your riddle says. Would we maybe think this is a safe bet to try?
Yeah, looking at like this semicircle, Woody, does it look like kind of like the space between them has been disturbed in any way? Like there's not like
Be an investigation check.
it's not just like a door that's opened, big metal clang. Yeah.
You start to look around, begin investigating the area, and nothing seems out of the ordinary.
Can I
It
do
looks like a
just like
stone platform that these are all
stomps?
on you. You don't see footprints either.
Hmm.
Only your
Um,
Aldrin, you're a tracker based on what you can see in this area. Are you aware of any? What should I say? Does anything feel off or out of place to you? I know you said in passing it wasn't so much.
it seems normal to me, if I'm honest. Apart from the fact that someone has done this to a statue. I may not have appreciated these statues fully in the past, but seeing someone to face a bit of work like this, it's just so sad.
do they remind you of anyone? Is there any like dwarven folklore or like I don't know 5 soldiers of old who fought I don't know dragons or something?
Yeah, you missed it there. Sorry.
It's was the from Deep Wars, the Age of the Deep Wolves. At the time, there was a legendary dwarven warlord, Thrain Stonewood, who led a coalition of clans carve a sanctuary high in the mountains. One of these could very well be him.
What was the surname? Sorry, Frayne
Thrain Stoneward.
Stormward.
Yeah,
Cool. Cheers.
I think I do remember hearing that the dwarf sentinel holding the sword. His name, if my memory serves me correct, may have been Durak. Durak Forwardhand. Can't remember any other names.
Dorak Fjordhand. He happens to be pointing down into a fjord. Was that right? I heard it.
Forward.
Forward.
That was just copy paste.
Forward hand.
Try and just read my notes real quick. See if there's anything. I don't think I've got anything to help.
I mean, we could always try my orb again. Actually, just to bring out the orb and just see which way it's pointed to now.
I've got an orb as well. Where is it? And I will pull out my compass,
Mm-hmm.
the Triadic Navigator. Right, Brother Keck, we will both do this at the same time, all right? Make it fair. Let's both try and find the directions to this wall. How's that sound?
So, let me just try and remember how your compass works. So, have you got notes on it? So you can sure.
This is what I've got written. Once per day, I can do directions for something, detect magical energy, or doorway detector. That's all I've got.
Perfect. Okay, so you don't need to even roll for it then. So you hold it up, and however you want to. How are you asking directions? What are you asking?
What's it called in the riddle?
Bring you to the wall.
The wall of
Just the wall.
Just
the wall. I feel like that's too generic.
I mean, if you asked to bring you to the Sentinels, that probably would have been the
I mean,
bell.
you could extend it and say it. Follow the gestures of war for a day's journey will bring you to the wall. Then beyond the frozen cascade, where time stands still, an entrance concealed by icy veils awaits discovery.
Yeah, I would just say the wall of I don't know. Where's the riddle gone? What does it say?
There's no real unique name or anything like see. I imagine Brother Kex is just pointing north.
Yeah, I'll just say the wall, I guess. I don't know. The wall I'm looking for. This is not the wall you're looking for.
So as you speak your words and you hold your compass, you watch as its needle starts to spin. Only one of them. There's 3 needles, and one of them starts to spin and eventually suddenly locks in place, pointing straight forwards. You're moving the compass around, it points, and it follows as you drift left and right, rotating around until you find forward point. And it's pointing in the same direction as the sword. Brother Keck, you take your orb and you give it a little shake. You watch as the milky liquids inside just sort of swirl around slightly. You see these little glistenings of little bits of flecks of paper or whatever is in there. Every now and again just appears. And then it settles down. You have a few little bubbles inside on the top. That's all you see. Doesn't really tell you anything.
Okay.
You can decipher that however you wish. It looks like there's a little collection of silt at the bottom of it in this murky, milky liquid. There's a few bubbles at the.
So shaking it, some bubbles have popped up and it's just got some shit building up on the bottom.
Mhm.
I think my orb has quite lost its way. So when you said a sword where that's pointing towards the lake as well. Or is it a hand pointing towards
Yeah.
the lake?
Yeah. It's going the same way that you wish. The way we want to go, basically. The way that you said.
I don't know. 'Cause I think what he said, the sword was pointing one way and the hand was pointing another. I said I was looking more towards the hand way, unless I've heard that wrong.
I thought they were going the same way.
The sword was pointing. Everything was pointing towards the.
The lake.
Okay.
Sword.
That's where he wants us to go, guys. We gotta. Is there any loot around here? Just want to double check, because
Investigation check.
there's not the arm that's dropped off. There's not some secret hidden ice blade or something.
By all means,
No.
do an investigation. With a 12, that's much. You find a few pine cones.
Nice. I'll chuck one at Hezekiah. Not aggressively, just underarm. I would say it's just like home.
Should we maybe press on?
Yeah, well, we got to figure out how to get down there, right? There's a day's
So
travel.
Alden looks at you. So, fair way. I can get you down there if you want. Happy to head back as well. So, I don't mind giving you a little bit more help. You want to find your way to that lake.
I mean,
We
so I was just gonna ask, how high up are we in terms of that lake? Is it quite like a sheer drop, or is it like a slope?
It looks like it's quite a drop down. Yeah, it's significant distance down. It's in one of the valleys between the mountains, and it's a fair way off. It's right in the distance up. You're actually lucky to have this very long, stretching valley between these mountains, and it's right at the tip of that. You can have a good old way down.
So hang on. You guys saw them on the bridge when you scryed, yeah?
I did, yeah.
Yes.
Why would they be coming to these statues if they already knew, or they didn't know the way? They were following the same
Huh?
riddle. Were they following the same riddle?
But they were following it with more information. But yeah,
Okay, right, yeah.
they're following this basically.
So I was just wondering if we were going after them because we had the riddle. I was wondering why they'd come up here if they already knew it was down there. But yeah, if they're just following the riddle, then yeah.
Yeah.
Could really do with a hot air balloon about there.
Maybe we can summon one. Right. Are you still happy to take us down there, or not?
I can get there, but I won't be able to stay much beyond that. I'll need to get back. I can help navigate you down.
Yeah. Is it? Have you been down before?
Not many places on this mountain I've not been. This perhaps as far-reaching as it is a joy to traverse over and under. That being said, areas where we don't walk very often, this being one. But I'm happy to take you down at least. I can get us there.
Right. Well, if you would, obviously, this is very important to us. We should do it.
Very well. Follow me once again. And he starts to make his way, trudging down through snow, and he starts to cut his way down the mountainside. And now starting to get a few more trees spotting up here and there. It's really rough going. There's places where it's really icy, and you feel like your footing is really at risk. Remembering back to the ledge you're on, you remember some of the techniques you may have been able to utilize, some of you, and start to dig in a little bit as you're going down, just to keep yourself stable. And after many hours, night starts to draw in. At this point, Aldrin turns to you. This would be a very good time to take a rest, I think. Just up ahead, we have a bit of a spot that's secluded and sheltered. You can set up a small fire and sit out the night.
Yeah. We're basically following your guide on this, and
Well, I wouldn't advise trying to traverse the mountain at night, especially when it's at this altitude, this steep a drop.
no, and you haven't led us wrong so far. So why not?
So he begins to set up a camp for you and starts to set up a small fire, lights it. He breaks some little satchels from his bag. You can see his little parcels of food in there, and he starts to eat them.
This camp is kind of like in a bit of a, just like in a nook in the cliff, so we've kind of like got
So
cliffs
it's slightly
to our
sheltered.
back.
There's a build up
yeah.
of rock and trees. It's providing you a little break from the wind, and the snow has started to just slowly start to fall here as well. Just little snowflakes coming down. He seems to only have a couple packets of food on him, and he opens up one, starts eating it, and then he gets the other one in his hand, looks across to you all. He passes one over to you, Jasper. Keep your strength up.
I mean,
You don't want to be weak on the map.
Everyone just have food from the feast I created from this morning. It lasts up to 24 hours and doesn't spoil.
Oh yeah, that was lovely.
Take what's offered. What's been offered out? Just more out of politeness.
And he goes to his drink. He gets his flask, which is empty. Having
been passed around a bit. Sighs, puts it back. He looks back to you, Jasper. Do you have any more? Anything to drink?
One more bottle. It's the same as that other one you had earlier. It's not the best, but if you like that.
Same as before. Do you have anything different? Something that might be a little bit more interesting.
Let me double check. And Jasper rummages through his hat quickly. Pull out the flask of indeterminate liquid.
Yeah.
I've got this that I don't even know how I acquired it, but I have no idea what it is, whether it's drinkable or not. No.
Now, which one is this? Is this the one you just picked up at the cave?
Let me identify
Yes.
them.
Yes.
So he takes it from your hand and he has a look and he squeezes off the cap and he smells. That's familiar. What is? He takes a small sip. Oh, that's good. That's black root liquor. Oh, that you want to leave for more of a special occasion. And he corks it.
Damn.
That one is nice. Don't just waste them. You'll want them. You need a little get me up. It's been known to aid your healing slightly.
What was it called? What do you say?
Black root liquor.
Black root liquor. So,
Did you say
Other
age your
rare.
hearing?
Aid your healing. Should you have
Age your
hurt
healing.
in some way,
Okay.
help close a couple of small wounds. Get you nice and powered up.
I keep looking at. I'm afraid, other than that, that's all I have.
As you go to put it back. What else you got in there? There's another bowl. What's that one?
I don't know. He's a bit thirsty.
And he's pointing at another bowl which you've got in there. You've got which one? I can't remember exactly. I had it's the bottle which you picked up in the manor had a little label on it. I can't remember which label it was.
Jar F. Is that the
Jar
one? That's the only other thing I've got that's unlabeled. It's Jar F.
It's definitely labeled. It was back when you had all of the potions.
Oh, the potions. Yeah, I don't want to give out any of the potions.
Oh well. Never mind. Thought you were holding back on me.
Trust me, you don't want to try these ones. They're not for friendly consumption.
Fair enough. What about all the rest of you? Anyone got anything to drink?
Not from me. No.
Probably not.
Not safe anyway.
Oh,
Only bear can
no,
ask
on the mouth
blessings.
without it.
Hezekiah pop out some good berries and say, well, this is nothing to savor, but it will be enough to hydrate you for him.
Brush them down into a paste.
He rolls the berries in his hand, picks them up and just pops them in his mouth, chews them, and swallows it down. Berries. Yeah. I appreciate it. Don't quite come close, unfortunately, but I'll just have to get my fill when I get back.
What is it you're after? Ale.
A drink, anything, alcohol, something
Mm,
to warm you up on the inside. Your eyes rolling in your head.
I mean, I can give you a tattoo.
Just, yeah. All right then.
I'll pull out. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I'll pull out my little tattoo kit.
He pulls up his sleeve of his arm. See, and you can see he's already got a number of tattoos. And he rolls it back down, rolls up the other one. That's also covered in tattoos here. All right, well, it's gonna have to be this then. And he just grabs um, his arm and just pulls it off, and just then rips open his undergarments, just exposing his chest. Right
on.
here.
Right. I will pull out the kit and anything you want.
Oh. Well, how good are you at this? Because if I'm going to tell you a certain lady friend of mine, I want
Oh,
you to.
no realism. Purely,
Oh, all right.
purely
Couple of
symbolic.
jugs of ale, or an anvil and ale. Yeah, and gold. Oh, yeah, anvil, ale, and gold, and diamonds and jewels.
I've got something else that maybe I could do. I'm gonna try tattoo into, I have the anti-warding runes.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I might tattoo or try to recreate those runes on him. So
Okay.
no one can scry on him.
Okay, so you go in to start tattooing. Just to see how well you do, we're going to
Oh,
roll. This will be interesting. Either be sleight of hand or it could be a performance, maybe.
Oh, I mean, both aren't great. Yeah, they're the exact same, so why not?
Okay.
Oh, this is awful.
Okay. You get going, and he's just, as soon as you get going, he's going, ooh, yeah. It's a different kind of buzz, but it's got me going. Yep. Yep. Keep going. And he's doing that, and he's moving around a fair bit as you're doing it. He's just sort of nodding his head and just.
Ew.
And it's not coming out great so far. You're doing your best, but it's a little bit over the place. The first time you've really tried it, and you're getting used to it, and it shows.
Mm.
You finish, and he goes, "Oh!" So he tries to lead him, pulls his beard out of the way.
Right. Okay. Where is it? You're right.
It's magic.
Room?
Runes of old.
And you can
Protection.
see on his face, he doesn't look thrilled with it. He lets his beard drop in front of it again. Appreciate that, thank you. I'll hold it dear to my heart. And he his hand there.
May it protect you.
Yeah, thank you. I hope so. Should probably get some sleep today. And he starts to cover himself back up again. Dons his armor once more. Right. Let's be wary through the night and catch you in the morning.
What do you know as mushrooms?
Hmm?
How
Yeah.
bright are they?
Only slightly, because it's
Okay.
hard to actually find. They're only slightly luminous.
Okay, no worries. Just wanted to check.
So you settle in for the night. Did you want to do any checks at all, or are you just going to go to sleep?
I think Keck's usual check of detect undead for 60 feet around us would probably come into play just because we're settled down for a bit. He's
Okay.
not done it in a while.
You have a moment just to try and concentrate, and you feel the essences around you. Nothing pings up as being undead.
Okey-doke.
You all start to drift off to sleep.
Oh.
And
You gonna do watches all, or?
Yeah, we'll do the regular
Yeah, I think
watches,
so.
and I'll do my alarm.
okay. So first, what? Just give me a perception check.
Yeah, I'll do it first, I guess, with someone.
I'll go with Locke on the first watch.
13. Yeah. First watch passes by without any issue. There's nothing really of interest that happens. You hear the occasional animal moving through. You hear twigs break, crunch of snow from small-footed creatures, but nothing concerning. Second watch.
I'll jump in
Roll
on that one.
perception.
With a guidance.
The snow starts to come in now, and it's starting to come down on you a little bit. It feels serene. There's a slight glow from the moon that's coming through, so it's not pitch black. The moon is catching the whites of the snow, and it is all quite nice and peaceful. You feel a connection to the earth as you're sitting there. And the time just rolls past you without incident. Third and final watch.
Let's see after listening to.
Beautiful. Okay. As the night starts to come to a close and dawn starts to come upon you, you realize that everything in the night is as it should. It's been peaceful, it's been quiet, it's been serene. The snow is falling gently down. You wake up very cold, but it's. You wake up and you have your meals. You're fully rested, all of you. Aldrin stands up and he's just sort of tentatively touching his chest, sort of stitching it. You can see he's just checking his flask together. He's trying to drain any last drips out of it. Right. Come on. Let's go. Need to be getting back.
Yeah,
And he
we're ready.
ushers you all up, and he seems keen to get moving and to be gone at this point. You watch as he grabs a handful of snow and just puts it into his mouth.
What?
Let's go.
He's putting snow in his mouth. Just go alright.
He keeps a brisk pace ahead of you as you start to walk down, and eventually, you find yourself coming out of the tree line a little bit. Ahead of you, the valley just sits rising on either side. You follow it for a little while until you find a frozen river. Alden starts to lead you down upstream of this river as you keep going, before eventually it opens up, and in front of you is this large area.
Transition.
A map.
Bottom left corner.
You can see,
Yeah.
As the snow sort of comes to an trees around you start to pull back, the edge of what looks like a frozen lake opens up in front. And the air biting sharply against your skin as you crest this ridge. The frozen wind just screaming across this open expanse ahead of you. Before you lies a vast and kind of haunting sight. It's a stretch of glassy, icebound water that shimmers under the grey sky above, and all across its surface, see sort of slight rippled and peaked, like the water frozen in an instant almost. There's also spotted around here and there, you see what looks like figures standing locked in stillness. Beasts, like they're just stopped completely. Snowflakes drifting down slowly, so slow it's as if time itself is struggling to move here. They hang suspended in the air, briefly descending, caught in a world just forgotten. As you step forward, each footstep you take sends faint cracks whispering through the silence. Each breath, a thunderclap. It's unnatural stillness. There's no sound. There's no birds, no wind now. Only the occasional deep groan from beneath the ice. And there, just ahead, center of it all, you see them. Two figures, cloaked in black robes edged with crimson thread. Their forms stark against the pale white canvas ahead. They're not that far away from you. And in fact, they've just come to a stop as they're walking towards you. The first, rather lithe tabaxi. Her fur a patchwork of dusky greys and midnight blacks. Over one shoulder, seems like she's carrying a heavy satchel. Shifts, clinks vaguely with each of her steps. Her yellow eyes gleaming coldly beneath her hood, flickering to you with a mixture. Seems like amusement and disdain.
At her side stands something stranger. As the silent wind catches the cloak, you can see a humanoid form, not quite human construct, a metal body etched with intricate runes that pulse in faint, eerie green, gaps between the plates revealing shifting mechanisms within, tiny flickers of emerald light tracing their way through her form. And just covering her face is what looks like a delicate porcelain mask, crafted into a serene, smiling visage of a young woman. The two freeze at the sight of you. The tabaxi, just the satchel on the shoulder, gives a slow, mocking bow. Construct tilts her masked head slightly,
Hmm.
assessing the distance between you. Somewhere you hear the ice crack again, rumble, vibrating through your boots. You have finally come face to face with the two that you've been following. The tabaxi steps forward first, her voice smooth, almost playful, cutting through the frozen air like a blade. Well, well, well. Look who's clawed their way up the mountain. She gives a lazy stretch, her tail flicking behind her as she glances at the heavy satchel on her shoulder. Still chasing shadows, are we? Shame. A step too late then. The side of the construct tilts her head slightly, the eerie green eye with it seems pulsing once. Her voice soft, emotionless, filtering through the mask. A minimal threat. The delay will be unacceptable. The tabaxi looks yellow gleam as she purrs mockingly. Certainly persistent, I'll give you that, but persistence without power. She leans in, just slightly grinning. It's just suicide dressed up as. Move aside. Constructs of motion. Or be removed. Another low grunt.
Wait, the construct's saying this, or
Both of them are saying that. They're both.
okay? I'm next to.
Yeah, I'll open up this map slide for you.
I will just whisper to what's his name next to me. I'll just say, yeah, you can probably go home now. Probably best you do.
Hello. But we will have to pick this up in the next game.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
There we go. Okay, guys. Thank you for playing today.
Incredible.
All good.
Awesome. We find like